Alright, yo, what's up guys? It's me, Shadow, back again with another tutorial video. Today, guys, we're going to be going over something a little bit different. In today's video, we're going to be going over how to structure beats. Like, that's it. That's all we're going over. If you guys have watched my videos before, you know that typically, like, 90% of my videos are how to make a beat for, blank artist, but I'm trying not to keep myself in that box anymore, which is why I'm doing other kinds of content. And I know this might be like a more beginner style of video. You know, I have more goals for this channel than just what I'm already doing. You know, like I enjoy teaching people, so I want to reach a broader audience, which is why I'm doing stuff like this. So I hope you guys enjoyed that completely unnecessary rant. Before we get into this video, guys, I just wanted to say I'm gonna leave a link down below to my Patreon. You guys can go check it out and see all the tiers I have, as well as everything that I have to offer with them. I'm also going to leave a link down below to a 100% free FLP download that's just the template for this video. See, if we hop into FL Studio, I have an intro, I have a hook and chorus, a verse, and a bridge, and basically I have like a pretty typical standard beat. So I will leave a FLP down below that just looks like that. Yeah, basically it's just for you guys to go ahead and download so you guys can get a visual representation of where stuff has to go. It can make it super easy for you guys, especially if you're a beginner. So I just wanted to leave that down below for you guys to download. There's no catch, it's free. I don't really like doing those like catch things or whatever. So guys, for this video I'm going to do like the whole like chapters thing or whatever, so you can skip through the different parts of the video. But the first thing that we're going to be going over is actually defining what a hook, verse, and bridge are. I find that a lot of tutorial YouTubers will just go straight into a structuring video, assuming that everyone understands that. And I know it's a common concept that a lot of people do know, but also a lot of people don't know it. Me personally, I didn't know it when I first started making beats, so I was super confused when, you know, like all these videos are talking about things that I just didn't understand. So guys, starting off with the hook of your song, it is also known as the chorus. Basically, the hook or chorus of your song, guys, part of the song that is going to repeat multiple times. Basically like the catchiest part of your song. It's the part that everyone knows. So that is what a hook or chorus is. During my hook, I have like all of the important crazy sounds playing because you want the beat to be super high energy during that point. Moving on, guys, to the verse. A verse is typically a part of the song that is repeating, but each time it repeats, it has a new set of lyrics that's like super different and, you know, more in depth. During the verses of my beats, I like to keep things more simple for that reason. Typically during the verse, there's more focus on the artist and what they're saying. Because of that, you want to leave your verses pretty empty. That's not the right word. You want to leave your verses more empty. No, bro, why am I saying empty? You want to have less sounds playing during your verse. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know why that was so complicated for me, but yeah, that's what you want to do during your verses, guys. You basically want to like simplify the beat, take out all the extra sounds, only make them the core sounds. That's what you want to do during the verse. And then lastly, guys, we have the bridge. The bridge of your song is typically like a contrasting part of the beat, and the purpose of the bridge is basically to prepare the listener for the return to the main material within your beat or song, which is typically the hook, which I went over earlier. Basically, guys, the way that I like to look at a bridge is just like a break in your beat, pretty much. You know, the word contrast doesn't necessarily always apply. You don't have to introduce new sounds. You don't have to do anything too crazy like that. I usually just take the melody, remove all the drums, and just leave it that way. As I was saying, I like to look at the bridge as just a break in the beat. I don't know, I guess this is like English class now. Those are the definitions for hook, verse, and bridge. I feel like it's very important to go over that before we get into the actual FLP, so there you guys go. Alright guys, so now that we have that out of the way, we're going to hop into FL Studio, which I showed you guys earlier. You see I have everything labeled, which should hopefully make things a lot easier for you guys to understand. And yeah, I'm basically going to go over, like, you know, visually what all these things mean. I'm going to kind of show you guys how I implement different methods to keep my beat moving and stuff like that, and also explain to you guys bars, because that is something that's really confusing. Like a lot of people don't talk about bars at all, so I'm going to talk about bars a bit. So yeah, I guess let's just start off with the intro, guys. So right here we have the intro of the beat, which is basically just the intro. I don't really have to explain that one to you guys. I'm pretty sure an intro is like a pretty well understood concept, but in the intro, what I like to do for my beats is basically just play the melody pretty much. That's like what I like to do. And if your melody has like a lot of different parts to it, just pick like the very core sound of your melody that like really encapsulates everything. This is what the intro to this beat is going to sound like. That's literally it. As you can see, this melody has like a bunch of different parts. There's like 5 of them or something like that. But for this intro, we are just playing the very main sound. Shout out to Blue Sky. He's a super talented producer. This beat that I made is a collaboration beat with him, so I definitely suggest you guys should go check him out. He's super talented. For my intros, I typically like to make them 4 bars, you know, just something super simple. And here's what I'm going to try to explain to you guys for bars, because I didn't really understand it at first. Basically, if you're trying to make a certain number of bars, take whatever number of bars you want and add 1 to it. So as you can see here, this is the 5 marker, but that's 4 bars. As you guys can see right here, this little highlighted area that I'm showing you guys is the 4-bar intro. However, it looks like it's going to 5 bars. It can be like a little misleading, but basically the number 5 is representing the beginning of the 5th bar. So because that's the beginning of the 5th bar, you have to go to that marker to have 4 bars. It's kind of confusing, but like I said, if you want 4 bars, go to the 5th marker. If you want 8 bars, go to the 9. If you want 16, go to the 17, and you know, so on. It's kind of weird, but I mean, it makes sense after you make beats for a while. Then guys, we're going to move on to the hook or chorus. So basically, like I was saying earlier, this is typically the part where an artist is like doing their really catchy part. So there's not always a ton of lyricism. There's nothing like too crazy going on vocally, which is why I typically like to have my beats more complex during the hook or chorus. Bro, I just have to stop the video for a second. I'm really talking, like technically. This is kind of crazy, bro. Anyone who watches my videos pretty often knows that I'm not like a very technical person, and I like to have fun and just like goof around while I make my beats, but I don't know, bro. I'm like in my element right now for some reason. To break down what I did here, basically guys, I like to split my hooks and verses in half. So basically a hook and verse is typically 16 bars during your beat, but I like to split them in half into 8-bar sections, which looks like this. Basically for the first half of my hook, there's less going on than there is in the second half of my hook. That's how I look at it. So during the beginning half of the hook, as you can see, I'm not playing every single melody sound. There's this one part of the melody that is reserved for the second half, and then as you can see, drum wise, there's still like a whole lot going on here. But if you guys move over to the second half of the hook, you'll see we introduce a couple new things. We introduce a second part of the melody. We also introduce a super fire percussion sound that really like juices up the bounce of the beat. Then we also add a kick, which, you know, really changes the way that the beat sounds. So that's typically how I like to do my hooks. Obviously during this video I'm saying a lot of things, but I'm not stating them as rules. There's really no rules when it comes to music. So moving on to the verse, guys, we have a similar deal as the hook. Basically it's going to be 16 bars. Typically for my beats, I like to keep the intro short, and then the hook and verse are almost always 16 bars. The verse is where the artist is going to be like talking, singing, rapping more than they were in the hook. So because of that, you want to make the beat simpler. You want there to be more focus on the artist than there is on the beat during this section of your beat. So because of that, as you can see, we take a lot of sounds out. We took 3 different stems of the melody out, so it's basically just core sounds of the beat. And then we took some drums out. We didn't do like anything too crazy for this beat because I kind of liked having the percussion play the whole time, but you know, we kind of like chopped up some of the snares and perks. You know, certain parts of the beat aren't playing during the verse that would normally play during the hook. You know, for this verse, I easily could have like taken all the hi-hats out, you know, just like focus on like the percussion and the clap and all that kind of bounce. I could have even taken the 808 out for certain parts, you know, like there's no rules to music. There's really nothing specifically that you guys have to do, you know, just this is a general guide. I'm also implementing the same thing that I did for the hook earlier, where I split the verse in half. Basically the first half of the verse is an even more simpler version than the second half of the verse. You know, the only thing that we're doing for the second half of the verse is adding like one more melody sound and then the kick. But you know, still, just to keep your beats moving, I like to split everything in half if you can, you know, the different sections of the beat. And then lastly, guys, we're gonna move on to the bridge, which is basically like I said, the break in the beat. For me personally, the easiest way to do a bridge is to just take all the drums out. You don't have to take all the drums out, but that's just what I typically do. I play like the core sounds in the melody. I like to usually make my bridges 8 bars each time, but you know, that's not necessarily what you always have to do. If you want your bridge to be a little bit more than like a melody, I like to bring in the clap for like the second half of the bridge, kind of like build some hype up to the hook dropping again. But yeah, that's the bridge. There's usually nothing like too crazy that you have to do during it. And yeah, guys, once you have the hook, verse, and bridge done, that's basically your beat. From that point, you're just going to repeat it over and over again until your beat is at a decent time. As you can see, this beat ends around 2.5 minutes, and for me, I think that's a good enough time. But yeah, if you want your beat to be even longer, you're not satisfied with the time, literally highlight your hook, verse, and bridge. Control B, Control B, Control B. You can just keep on going and going and going until your beat is 15 minutes long. I also wanted to talk about one more concept before this video ends, guys, and this is something that like a lot of people don't really know, and like a lot of people might be annoyed by this if I say it, but structuring is not as important as you think it is. I said it. Basically, the way that I look at it, the only situation where structuring is super important is if you're putting beats somewhere where people are looking to use it, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, or if you're trying to sell your beat. If you're looking to get artists on your beat, I see a lot of YouTube videos that are like, this is why artists aren't using your beats. This is why your structuring is the reason why you don't get your beats placed and stuff like that. And here's the reality, like 9 times out of 10, if you're getting your beats placed with a large artist, they're gonna ask for stems. My best advice is whether you're posting your beats on YouTube for people to buy them or just view them in general, or if you're sending your beats out for larger artists to use them, the best thing that you guys can do is just make sure that your beat drops quickly. That is the most important thing that you guys can do. But yeah, guys, 9 times out of 10, you're best off just keeping your intro short. There are a lot of times that I just drop my beats right away. I don't include an intro. The beat just drops right away. Attention grabbing is really what's most important when it comes to posting your beats, selling them, getting them placed, literally anything like that. So yeah, I really think that there should be more focus on getting to the really ear-catching part of your beat as quickly as you can. Yeah, basically, don't really stress yourself out too much about the structuring because most of the time, it's not as important as you think it is. Some people might not like that I said that, but it is what it is. So yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I have my cat in my lap now because he is meowing all over the place and I guess he wants some attention. What's up, bro? What's good? Bomber. Okay. Chill. All right, never mind. He's leaving. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like this video, leave a like. If you didn't, don't. Remember to hit the subscribe button. I post videos 3 times a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday covering underground and up-and-coming artists, challenge videos, entertainment content, and more. Yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good day or night. Peace.